Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another wonderful episode of Sports Nonsense and Whiskey. Hanging out with my boy Pinky.
Yeah, buddy.
Tuesdays, or no, Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday,
Special
September
edition.
28th. Yeah. Not feeling so great. Had to push it back a day. Feel much better. So appreciate Pinky hanging in there with me. But yeah, gonna talk some football, obviously, and a few other sports stories that I think are definitely worth discussing. And we'll see how the evening plays out.
See where it takes us. Go
How
on
you
this
doing, my
journey.
man?
Man, it's been a week and it's only Wednesday. It's been a week. Like, you know, I try not to complain about work very often, right? I think I'm blessed for what I do, right? And a lot of people would like to be where I'm at. So, but Tuesday was like a day from hell. And it was like nonstop. And it literally had me at the point of just like, maybe I should just leave for the day. Like things are not going well. Maybe I should just hang it up and we'll start over tomorrow.
Sometimes it's what you got to do.
But thankfully hung it out. And, since we didn't do the pod last night, just kind of hung out with the family and it's a good relaxing evening. So kind of needed that after that day. So
Good. Well, I'm glad I could help you out there. Anything exciting this last week for you, buddy?
No, not really. I did finish. I don't know if I finished Stranger Things recently. So I don't know if I mentioned that on the last one. So I finally finished the season 4 of that one. Good stuff. Really enjoyed it. So I do recommend anybody, hasn't seen that yet, definitely needs to get on it. It's a very enjoyable show.
Yeah, I just have never had any inkling to even start it.
It's got some horror aspects to it, but the characters are great. It's kind of hard to explain. It kind of like the kids are like, you get attached to these kids, and they've grown up over the 4 seasons. So now they're all teenagers, older teenagers. So it's just a cool concept, man. I've really enjoyed it. First season's really good. Second season's not really good, and then 3 and 4. I liked 3 a lot. There's a lot of nostalgia in 3, and then 4 is really good. So,
All right then.
that was about it. There hasn't been I've got that movie pass, and there hasn't been any movies to go see.
That's
none.
true. That's true.
So
Yeah, I think Stranger Things is going to be like Napoleon Dynamite for me. Just zero interest.
Oh wow. I mean, I'm not a fan of Napoleon Dynamite by any means, but Stranger Things is really good.
Pop culture phenomenon that I'm just not going to get into. Doesn't happen very often because I like a lot of different stuff, but it's just not.
I think your wife would like that show.
She's watched it or started it. I don't know where she's at with it, but yeah, she's gotten somewhere with it. Where that is, I have no idea, but I know she just finished the Jeffrey Dahmer one.
Okay, yeah.
And that I've been reading a lot about how it's making people's skin crawl. Most people can't even get through the first episode. So, but she loves that murder porn shit. So that was right up her alley.
Yeah, I gotta take a look at that. I got a couple shows I've been watching weekly instead of binging. I'm kind of regretting that, but have been watching The Patient on Hulu.
Oh, that's the FX one with Steve Carell, huh?
Yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad. Steve Carell does a good job in it. I just feel like there's just something missing about it. But
okay.
Steve Carell. I mean, if you like Steve Carell, you'd probably like it. It's a good show. It was kind of funny. My buddy Caleb, my good buddy from high school, best man at my wedding, his son is actually in the show. He plays Steve Carell's son when he was young.
Interesting.
So he's in episode 5. So that was cool to see his son in there. And his son and his daughter have been getting some acting jobs here and there.
Cool.
So.
What up, Cody? Appreciate you, homie.
Cody's in here.
Yeah, man, I haven't been watching a whole lot. We're behind on House of Dragons, so we're gonna try to catch up on that this coming weekend.
I haven't watched any of it just so we can binge it.
We're gonna binge Lord of the Rings, so we haven't started that. All my network stuff is starting to come out now with it being the fall, so I got all those network shows that I like watching just because I kind of grew up on that, so it's nostalgic to have a couple here and there that I like watching.
We do a lot of the 20-minute comedies. Watch the first 2 episodes of Reboot.
Yeah, I don't watch any network comedies anymore. They're just not what they used to be, I feel like.
Yeah, we like it. Well, the wife and I like them because they're easy to get through. They're 20 minutes. You know, if you missed a couple weeks, you watched 3 episodes, you killed an hour. Like,
yeah, that's true. I got back into Law and Order last year. Because
that's a time suck right there.
I can't remember the guy's name. The actual actor's name, but Stabler is his name on the show. Law and Order Special Victims Unit is what he used to be part of. Now he's got a new one, Law and Order Organized Crime. And Special Victims Unit is still on after like 25 years with Ice-T and some other people. And they cross over all the time. So I got back into those last year. There's I think it's on CBS. There's a FBI International. That's kind of cool. Just watching them go all over Europe and stuff. I get into that kind of. My dad.
I can say
dad
for
was
sure. Never watched one episode.
My dad's favorite show when I was a kid was NYPD Blue. And like Thursdays at 9:00 or Tuesdays 9:00, whatever day it was on, when that came on, we got kicked out. Like, because it was too mature for us at our age when it first came out. And so my dad would kick us out of the room. We weren't allowed to be anywhere near it. He'd sit down and watch that, and then he'd go to bed. And when I finally got old enough, I started watching it a little bit with him just to be able to hang out with him and stuff. And that kind of just got me hooked into that kind of cop genre kind of show. So it's nostalgic for me. Trying to think of what else. I still love my Deadliest Catch. I've been hooked on that since it first came out. So that's kind of, I got to follow it until the end.
We finally caught Jurassic World Dominion.
Is that on HBO?
It's on Peacock.
Really?
Yeah. So,
okay. Well, I have that, so I can watch that finally.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. It's fun.
I've heard very hit or miss things from that.
To me, they don't touch on like, and I guess they're gonna do some more, but it won't have with like Chris Pratt and what's her name?
Don't give anything away here, Pinky.
They just don't touch on the fact that like we're living in a world with dinosaurs. Like they focus on a certain part of what's going on, and that's what they spend their majority of time doing. Versus
easy. I think you're starting to talk too much about it because
if you haven't seen it in 3 months, that's on you, man. Sorry.
No, because it just recently came out on. It's not my fault I can't get to the theaters right now.
All I know is they don't deal with the fact that, they're not doing anything about us living with dinosaurs.
All right.
Like,
well,
literally,
leave it there.
Outside
just
and
leave it
somebody's
there.
out there.
Easy. Some of us have young kids and we can't go to the theater. All right, Pinky.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Pretty sure my 1.5-year-old is not going to sit through a movie in the theater. Pretty sure.
I mean, my 11-year-old has a hard time sitting through the movie at the theater.
Yeah. So, parents come out here in about 3 weeks. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate that. Yeah. You know what? Maybe I don't have any concept of time right now, so I'm lucky that I get to watch the sports that I do. Leave me alone.
I still haven't gotten a chance to go back and watch the Batman on HBO Max. So
just watched that last weekend. So
because who's got 3 hours?
3 hours, dude. I know. Tell me about it. And that's been out on HBO Max for like 4 months. And I just now found 3 hours to watch it.
I mean, when the wife goes to bed on a regular night, I might have like 2 hours before I'm like, I can watch something for like 2 hours before I'm super tired and ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
So focusing for 3 hours.
And not just that, it's a dark movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a dark movie. So that's even more like, I'm just going to go ahead and pass out right now.
So I've got a week off coming up in like 2 weeks. That might be my time to sit down and just like watch that. Because I'll have some time.
I got the grandparents visiting in about a month, so they'll be out here for Halloween. So I might just have them take the little man for a Saturday afternoon, and we'll go into the basement and catch up on some stuff. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Other than that, man, not much, man. Let's talk some sports.
Well, I think the first thing we should discuss is history being made tonight. Aaron Judge hit number 61. Has now tied Roger Maris, which I think is pretty freaking awesome.
I'm not excited till he hits 62.
Well, here's the best part about that right now, in my personal opinion. You can go watch the highlight. That ball doesn't make it to the stands because it's in Toronto, and he hits it out into left field into the pitching setup. So where all the relievers are getting ready, that's where the ball goes. So nobody's making any money off of 61. I found that very comical.
Let's be honest. I mean, 61's worth something, but 62 is what you want.
62 is going to be worth a lot, but he's in Toronto again tomorrow, I believe. So very, very likely 62 could do the same thing. And that's what happened with 62 with Mark McGwire. He hit his into the bullpen area as well. So found that rather amusing.
Let's get that into a fan's hand. Let's make somebody some money.
So, yeah, tied Roger Maris. Very big deal. Tied for the most home runs in AL history.
He's
all the other guys were NL, Sammy, Mark, and Bonds.
He's gotta get MVP. He's just gotta.
Nobody's touching him. I mean, Ohtani had an amazing year, but Judge is winning the Triple Crown right now, and he's going to set a home run record. Like, there's no way anybody can beat that. There's no way. Especially because his team's in the playoffs, and Ohtani's team was eliminated from the playoffs like a month ago. So, that doesn't help his cause either. So yeah, that's tomorrow. I know there's Thursday night football, but if you're any type of sports fan, you're going to be tuning into that Yankees game at every Judge at bat.
I mean, it's Thursday night football. I'm going to be watching that. I'll catch a highlight of Judge, but
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, Pinky.
Sorry, man. I'm excited. I'm really interested in that game, so we can talk about it when we get there. But Bengals are pulling out the all white.
Well, those look sick. Don't get me wrong; those look sick. But nobody's asking you to watch the baseball game. Just watch when Judge is batting. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I just watch the highlight.
I don't know how we do a sports show with you. Sometimes I just don't know. Just don't know.
It's just not. I'm just not ready to commit yet. I'm
It's
excited.
history. It's history.
Yeah, but then he'll hit 63, and then that'll be history, and then he'll hit 64.
63 isn't history. It's you're either talking 62 or 73. 74.
I mean,
what's Bonds hit 73. So it'd be, depending on how you feel about baseball, it's 62 or it's 74. That's it. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter how far he goes over that. It's he broke the record. That's all that matters. Nobody gives a shit about Bonds 755. They cared about Bonds 716. Like, that's it. That's all that mattered. I mean, sorry. Bonds 756 because it was 716 when Aaron did it, and then so you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say.
We got you.
All that matters is that record-breaking ball. It doesn't matter after that.
I mean,
they're all still worth some money, but it doesn't matter.
I'm hoping Albert doesn't hit another one. I'm hoping he stays
Dude,
at
that'd
700.
be crazy because if he doesn't hit another one, that dude's ball is going to just keep skyrocketing in value.
Because we might not see a 700 homer guy in a while.
But again, the 700 ball is going to be worth more than anything after that because he's not breaking any records. He just made it to the 700 club. So the 700 ball is the one that's going to be worth the money.
Which is weird to me, but
that's how it works.
Good. It's good. I'm excited for Albert. I'm glad he got 700. That's monumental. I think you posted it on the Facebook site. Like someone would have to hit like 35 homers for like 25 seasons or something nasty.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. I don't remember exactly what it was. And you'd have to scroll back through the page to find it. But yeah, it's like you'd have to hit 50 homers for a certain number of seasons. You'd have to hit 35 for a certain number. You'd have to hit 20 for a certain number. And there's just the likelihood of anybody getting to 700 again is slim to none. Because the longevity you need to do it or the absurd averages you need to do it is just so incredibly unlikely.
I mean, you would definitely have to average 30 on the regular and throw in a couple 50 seasons in there to make that happen.
Yeah, it's wild.
The way that Judge hits, he could get there, but I think as big as he is, he'll have back issues way before then. So
it's possible. Injuries with the bigger guys seem to catch up, but baseball in general, those injuries, especially with the back, just the way you're constantly tweaking,
that torque, man,
trying to hit exactly. So, Judge being a bigger guy the way he is might actually help him in the longevity area of baseball because he doesn't have to, completely wind up as much to generate that power and things of that nature. So we'll see. He's definitely the guy that could be next if he has a long enough career because he's got a couple 50 seasons. He's now got 60, so he's definitely putting numbers up to put him in position.
I was looking. He's only in the 200s right now.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
You're like, he's been playing for a while. He's only in the 200s. Damn. Like
5 seasons now, I think he's been playing. So, he's got to get like another 15 seasons in to get to where he wants to be if he wants to join that club. So it's crazy. It's absolutely absurd. So that's baseball.
Playoffs starting soon. I think there's eight games left. Around 8
7.
Games.
A lot of teams only have 7. Now, baseball's weird because of how everything works out. Some teams might have 6, some might have 7, some might have 8. But we're in the last week of the season. Everything ends next week, and then playoffs start right away. So it's gonna come quick.
I was noticing with the hockey preseason starting up that I've been paying attention to. God, that is a short off season. I mean, that's
what I said.
I was celebrating the parade in June, and it's only September, and these guys are back out on the ice.
They get like 2 months off, dude. 2 months off. That's it. And then they go play one of the most violent sports there is in the world.
Oh, yeah. Got to get to a game this year. Got to make that happen.
We will. We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out to where we can get to one. But it's preseason, so I'm not going to talk hockey right now. It doesn't matter.
Don't say that too loud. Cody might still be listening, maybe.
Cody probably is listening. And if Cody thinks preseason matters, then there's even more issues there. It matters as much as NFL preseason and NBA preseason. It doesn't matter.
Cody's on Bleacher Report checking preseason hockey.
I mean, training camp, listening to that kind of stuff and following along at who's where and who's healthy and things of that nature. Yeah, but nobody gives a shit about preseason games.
I know. I keep seeing people post like pictures of their kids saying, "Oh, it's their first hockey game," and I'm like, "Well, that's kind of lame. You took them to a preseason hockey game."
Thank you, Cody. Thank you. The only preseason that matters that people care about, and it's sad that I'm about to say this, but it's baseball. Spring training is the only preseason that anybody gives a shit about.
And that's just disgusting. Just disgusting.
You know it's true, though. People flock down to Florida and Arizona to check out them spring training games.
No idea why. No idea.
Because it's warm weather in the winter. Go pack that 10,000 person stadium and hang out and drink some beer and eat a hot dog. Like, it's a good time still. I won't lie about that. You still get a decent product. You know what I mean? Like, everything else is not really decent product in the preseasons.
You do not get a good product, at least for football, that's for sure.
So in other sports news, there are two big basketball stories that I've been kind of waiting to discuss to kind of see what came out of it and what's happened. One, we've gotten some answers and we know exactly what's going to happen. I was going to mention it last week, but I figured I'd give it just a little bit more time. The other one, we still don't really have any answers, but it doesn't seem like anything's really going to come out now, and they've talked about it enough. Was also going to talk about it last week, but figured I'd give it a little bit more time, and it didn't change anything. So the first is the Phoenix Suns owner, Robert Sarver, after basically a year-long investigation, came out that over the years he said a number of racist, misogynistic things. The workplace environment has been abusive at best.
Amazing. A billionaire saying whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. So he was suspended for a year, fined $10,000, which is the max amount that the commissioner can fine an owner. The year-long suspension could have been longer, but the commissioner felt like that was just. And I love Adam Silver. I think he is the best commissioner in all of sports.
That's hilarious. They can only fine 10,000.
The year, $10 million.
Oh, 10 million.
1,000. If I said
10,000,
I apologize. Okay, 10 million. My bad. 10 million. But even that's a drop in the bucket. You know what I mean? Like, that's nothing.
I mean, you still feel bad about losing 10 million, but
no, you don't. Not if you're a billionaire.
I was like, that dude wipes his ass with 10,000.
If you're a billionaire, losing 10 million is like us losing $10. It's not really a huge deal. You're mad you lost some money, but it doesn't really matter to you.
You're not going to lose sleep at night.
The year-long suspension I thought was very interesting because the way Silver said it in his press conference was such that I believe this is justified given the circumstances, but I don't have the power to take an owner's team away from them. He made that very clear. And since those comments, shit basically hit the fan for this owner. PayPal said they would no longer be a sponsor of the team if he was still the owner after a year. The minority owner, and I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but a minority owner came out and said that he doesn't feel like he should be the owner any longer and he should sell the team. A number of NBA players, including Draymond Green on his podcast, became very vocal, stating that there is no way this man should stay in power. And it has since led to Sarver coming out and selling the team. He has openly said that he is looking to sell the team. So it should only be a matter of time. My guess would be by the next season, a year from now, the Suns will have new ownership. He can't be part of the team this season because he is suspended for a year, so he won't have anything to do with the team. So when it comes to the NBA getting things right, I honestly, I feel like about 99% of the time they do. They handle their shit and they take care of business. The NFL does not come anywhere close to this. If the NFL was the NBA, Washington would have a new owner already. Robert Kraft would probably not be owning the Patriots any longer. You know what I mean? Like, there would be major changes, and the NFL don't play those games. Good old boy system is good and strong in the NFL. But with the NBA, it's very progressive as far as leagues go. They usually set the tone when it comes to how things should be handled, especially in the public eye. So Robert Sarver will be out as the Suns owner. The other go ahead.
I mean, he's gonna make a lot of money on it anyways. Like,
oh, dude, he's gonna make 10 times what he bought it for, probably, if not more. So
good return on investment.
Yeah, it's not like the dude's gonna be losing anything other than getting to say he's in that exclusive club, right? So
it's kind of
like I feel bad for the guy making billions of dollars off the sale. No.
It's kind of like the Panthers owner, like, he made some sexual comments and like that kind of got swept under the rug. He sold the team and we've never heard from him again.
Yeah, which, when things like this pop up, it's only more mind-boggling that Snyder has managed to stay an owner of the Washington Commanders.
I think I saw something about that a week or two ago. I saw a headline that said that, like, it's starting to look more and more like he might be selling, but nothing.
Yeah, well, it should be very public, and it should have been forced, and there shouldn't be any more partnerships with that team, and none of that's happening. The NFL managers protect themselves and insulate themselves very well.
It was such a big kind of thing up over the the off season, and then all of a sudden we haven't heard anything about that stuff in a long time.
I mean, Congress got involved, and you still don't really hear about it because the NFL is, self-insulated.
Well,
like, there's no other way to say it.
When games are being played and there's lots of news about just what's going on, nobody cares about all the other stuff. The Brett Favre stuff's not getting any attention,
which is mind-boggling. I was going to talk about that here in a second, so we'll get there. The other interesting thing I found about the Sarver situation, who is the point guard for the Phoenix Suns?
That's Devontae Booker, right?
No, that's the shooting guard.
Oh, yeah. I was close.
You were not bad, not bad.
God,
older gentleman. When it comes, he's our age.
Oh, damn!
Been in the league a while. Smaller guy.
Chris Paul.
Yes, there you go. Cody was on it too. Well done, Cody. Pinky, I'm proud of you.
Big brain.
When was the last time an owner basically got kicked out of the league?
It was Sterling for the Clippers.
Yeah. Who was the point guard of that team?
Chris Paul, baby.
I'm just saying, like,
coincidence.
If you got any skeletons in your closet, you may not want to sign Chris Paul. Just a thought. Just, found that interesting. Just a little side note tidbit, coincidence, if you will. So yeah, there's that. The other big NBA story that I do want to discuss. Have you heard about this Ime Udoka story? Boston Celtics head coach.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but
Well, here's the thing. Originally being reported, consensual relationship. Didn't make any sense why he was being suspended. No fine. Why are you keeping him? Why not just fire him? What's the big deal with the consensual relationship anyways? Now the information's starting to come out, and it's still very minimal, not a lot to go on. But there's people in the know now who have gotten the full report and aren't saying anything because they don't feel it's their place to speak on it. So that tells me that it's way worse than anything that you've even thought about yet, because they don't want to put people's names out there than have them have to deal with it. But not consensual at all. Not even remotely consensual. And so the fact that
are we talking about rape here?
I don't know. But the feeling I'm getting from the insiders I'm starting to hear from that have been in support of Ime Udoka and now have said there's no way they can stand for anything he's done and cannot say a good word about him anymore,
Well, I know
but will not reveal what they know, tells me it's bad.
I mean, it's a subordinate in the organization that I guess
it though? Like, we're not even sure about that anymore. We just know it has something to do with a female staff member. Whether that's staff within the front office, whether it's coaching staff, whether it's training staff, nobody knows anymore. There's the Celtics have done a very good job of keeping it under lock and key, and I think it's to protect the, for lack of a better word, victim in the situation. And I don't think they want that person's life to be interrupted in any shape, way, or form. But now my mind is blown for why you just suspended him for a year. And the only thing I can think of is because they have to go through certain channels and processes in order to completely release him with just cause so that they no longer have to pay him. And I think that's what the next year's process is going to be done. I don't think there's any way he comes back, period.
Yeah, I have no idea about that at all.
But yeah, if you just start like Matt Barnes was another big proponent of saying, you know, he was so in support of Ime Udoka. He doesn't understand it. Doesn't make sense. I saw a headline from him today where he basically said, I can't condone anything that I now know. And I will not support him. Stephen A. Smith was furious. And he has since gone tight-lipped about it all. And is not saying a word about it anymore. And if Stephen A. is shutting his mouth, you know, that can tell you all you need to know right there. It would not surprise me if we hear him in the next week or two come out and, without apologizing, apologize to the Celtics. So, very interesting. I would like to know what the story is, but I don't think we're ever going to know the full report because, again, I think what the Celtics are doing is protecting the victim in order to save them from...
They'll probably give her some hush money.
I don't think that's what it's about. Now, I'm not saying that she's maybe not asking for something, but I'm saying based on what I'm hearing now and I'm reading and I'm seeing without any details, the vibe I'm getting is that it was so bad they don't want her to have to answer questions regarding it.
Which again,
like they're trying to protect her from having to be put in the public light.
And that's probably why they'll probably give her some hush money to say, "Hey, we're very sorry. If they want to save some face."
I don't think that. Honestly, Pinky, that's not the vibe I'm getting. I wouldn't call it hush money from them. If she wants to go out and talk about it, I don't think they'd have any issues with it. The vibe I'm getting is that she doesn't want to be out there. And so they're doing everything they can to keep it completely under the table for her. That's the vibe I'm getting. Not that I'm going to go talk about it unless you pay me. It's, I don't want anybody to know about this. Please don't put anything out in the public. That's the vibe I'm getting. Now, again, not saying that they won't pay her for, what's happened. Shit, maybe she's staying with the Celtics and she wants to keep her job and not have to deal with whatever might come up. And she loves being part of the organization and she feels like they're doing things the right way and they're taking care of her. And that's another reason they want to keep it quiet so that she doesn't have to, be forced to resign from her position because of all of this. Who knows? But I definitely don't get the sense that there's hush money involved in that normal sense of the hush money word. So Will we ever find out what really went down? I don't think we will at this point in time, based on the way it's being handled. I mean, even Ime Doku came out and basically took full responsibility for whatever it was and said, he's not going to talk about it anymore, and he completely supports the decision. I think the dude knows he's done coaching the Celtics for sure, and he's going to try to do everything he can to save a little bit of face and maybe get another chance in the NBA. But the NBA circles are going to know what happened. So I don't think we ever see him on a coaching staff again, to be honest with you.
Never know.
Never know. Last bit of non-football news, and then we'll use Favre to move into the NFL. USMNT had their 2 friendlies that I was talking about.
Boo.
They look like shit in both of them.
Boo.
They look like shit in both of them.
I'm going to root for Germany. Fuck them.
I do not support that.
I lived in Germany, so I still I still root for them when they're in the World Cup. I don't know if they're in the World Cup, but
yeah, they're in the World Cup.
I figured they were, but I don't.
They're not Italy, all right? They're not come on. They're not Italy or the United States for that matter. But the amount of talent that the USA has, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, there is no reason they shouldn't get out of the group stage. And right now, I'm going to be kind of surprised if they get out of the group stage. It's not looking good. Berhalter doesn't look like he has a clue on what he's doing. The guys don't look like they're playing cohesively at all. Nervous. I'm nervous. I'm not scared. Not scared yet because there's a crazy amount of talent on this team, but I'm nervous. So, about 3 weeks from now, we're going to find out. We're going to find out what's happening, and I'm excited to see.
Let's go now, Deutschland.
The two friendlies did not look very good. Not very good.
God, you know what? I'm still mad that Denver didn't get World Cup games.
Don't even get me started on that bullshit.
Like, I've been to Arrowhead. That's a shitty fucking stadium.
It's not just that. It's not a great soccer city.
Like, they're
not bad soccer city, but they're not a great soccer. Colorado is a great soccer state, like legitimately a great soccer state. And they've said, well, we gave Mexico City one, so we don't need 2 cities with altitude and blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Ruined a huge opportunity there. Denver should have been hosting World Cup games. Period. Doesn't matter. Period. End of story. But they're not. So I'm going to have to look at making some travel arrangements with some buddies. Might be heading out to Southern California. And that kind of breaks my heart to say that because I hate Southern California. But
Southern California in November can't be bad, bro.
It's not in November. It's only in November this year because they're playing in the goddamn Middle East desert where it's 150. Qatar, however you want to say it, bribed their way with that damn oil money into hosting the World Cup. It's a joke. Should have never happened.
Oh, so it's not this World Cup, but the next World Cup.
2026 is the U.S. World Cup.
Yeah,
and this is what's even more dumb. In order for the U.S. to have it, they had to put in this goddamn joint bid with Mexico and Canada. Like, we needed the other 2 countries to host the World Cup.
Ooh, I'd go up to Canada for a game. That'd be fun. I got no interest in going to Mexico for a game, but I'd go up to Canada.
Nah, Mexico would be...
Nah, I like to live.
I mean, you might want to grab some bulletproof vests and, some other things.
I like to live. I'll go to Canada.
But,
they're nice people.
But you want to get into an atmosphere. Oh, go down to Mexico for some games, bro. Oh, wow. That's an atmosphere. Woo! That'll put a whole different light to fandom for you. I'll tell you that much right now. But, yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke that we had to get the other 2 countries to even win the bid let alone not have Denver hosting games. Atlanta got games. Atlanta. Who the what?
Atlanta's a big city. I don't mind that. Kansas City's a
You
shithole,
should.
bro.
You should.
Kansas City's a shithole. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Kansas City's a shithole. I've been there. It's not good. Kansas City Chiefs are a great football team. They are. It's awesome. They're fine.
It's like, like central
fans
for
are great.
barbecue and
But that stadium is garbage.
Yes.
That stadium, and it's like a V, the way that they built it, it's garbage, bro. It really is. It's a good atmosphere, good fans, but the stadium itself should be torn down and build something new.
There's many reasons Denver got hosed on that. Many, many reasons. I also believe, and this hasn't been confirmed, but I've also, through the grapevine, kind of heard Denver tried to make sure that they were not a host city because the dumbasses in Denver don't want the Olympics. They don't want the World Cup. They don't want anything that brings additional traffic to the city because they're retarded. They're ridiculous. The R word was the wrong word. I apologize. Not a good word to use. They're just really stupid. They're just really stupid. It's not about even the income that would be brought in to me. It's about the fact that that's a once in a lifetime scenario that you can be a part of. And you don't have to build any infrastructure for it. You deal with some extra traffic for a month. Get over yourselves. Like, cool. That would be amazing to have. So not going to happen, unfortunately. So that's it. I'm done. I'm done with the rest of the sports stuff I have. We can move into Favre. I don't know who this person is, but sir, you can be a part of this conversation anytime you want to.
I appreciate you. I do.
Vengeance. I'm probably butchering that, so I apologize. But by all means, jump on anytime you want, sir, or she, or he, or him, or her. What pronouns? We'll gladly give you your pronouns. Tell us
binary,
what you want them to be.
Whatever. I mean, we accept everyone.
Yeah, we do mad work with our wives, sir, madam.
15 years, so doing something
so thank you. We appreciate it. Hello. So yeah, Favre, Binky, take it away, sir. I've done enough conversing for
bro.
Right now.
This is nasty, bro. Like, I mean, we know Favre's kind of a cringy kind of dude from some of the things he's already done in the past. And again, I'm not gonna fault the guy for sending pictures of his dick to a hot chick. That's not his wife. Like, I wouldn't do that myself, but if I'm a millionaire, maybe I don't care, right? But he's kind of a cringy guy. Getting the governor to send money from the Medicare system or welfare system to him that he then used to get like a volleyball and some type of football related stuff at universities, in Mississippi.
Stadiums, arenas. Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what it was, but the so I don't know why this isn't getting more, and I don't know why he's not going to jail. Like, he's defrauding the welfare system. And again, he took money from people that need it. Like, that really bugs me. I've always liked Favre as a football player. I didn't fault him for some of his, if you want to around on your wife, that's on you. That's not my thing, but um, that's just low, man. That's like it's like all the people that were defrauding the college system in USC, right?
So that's well played, Vengeance. So I've got a couple thoughts on this. One, why is Favre taking his Favre is totally in the wrong and he should be prosecuted to the full extent. But why is he taking so much heat when it's not like he had the money and he spent it where it shouldn't have been? He asked for it and they gave it to him. So why isn't the governor, the mayor, the Congress, wherever it came from, why are they not under fire and on blast right now? Their names aren't getting mentioned at all. It's just Favre's, which blows my mind because all he could do is ask for. Now, if he's got tape, if he's got, recordings, whatever it is on these people, and he's got dirt that forced them to do it, even more reason to put them in the public light.
I know part of it was he got paid for public speaking that he never did.
Again, that's not on him. They paid him.
And he's paid that back.
Right.
Now, he hasn't paid the interest that they asked him to pay on it, but he has paid at least that money back.
So, while I think Favre should be put on blast, I don't think he's the one that should be put at the top of that chart. The second thing that blows my mind, and I think this is not getting any conversation, which is just mind-boggling to me, doesn't this shine a huge light on how broken the welfare system is? And everybody's been saying it's broken for a long time, and yet nobody wants to discuss it or look at it or fix it. And doesn't this do exactly that? And yet it's not talked about at all still? So, the rumors about welfare is that there's a lot of people taking advantage of it that don't need it. This man just took advantage of it more than anybody else. And it doesn't matter because it's still not getting talked about, because guess what? If it was talked about and actually out in the media, the true villains here, the governors, the politicians of every kind, they would be the ones that are going to jail, but they're the ones that control the narrative, and so the narrative's not out there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think we'll hear more about it eventually, but at least all the sports outlets, nobody's covering this story.
I don't think we're going to, Pinky. You know why? Because he didn't use it for personal gain. He used it at a university, a college. And so they're just going to be like, well, it is going back to the kids, so we'll just let it go. And I think it's going to whoop.
I think we can all agree, though, that money could probably be better spent in Mississippi with folks that need it than the universities.
It could go to a lot of places that people could need it, but it's already not doing that. So what's the difference? They'll just crank up everybody's taxes an extra 0.5% and replenish it in a year, and it won't matter. That's what's crazy. That's what's wild to me.
Favre's lost my respect, my friend. Not that I had a whole lot for him, but he's lost some of my respect.
Well, I'm guessing he's not going to be in any more Copper Fit commercials with Jerry Rice.
That's probably true. Even though we haven't seen those in a while either.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying maybe that's why we haven't seen him in a little while. They're looking for some new spokesmen.
All right, playa. We got some NFL to talk about.
Say what?
I think a lot of the games this last week, I don't think there's a lot to maybe go over. I do want to start with this. Overall, I think this is a good place to start. The AFC West is definitely not the best right now. And they may be one of the worst divisions in football at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they do have the only 0-3 team in the NFL, the lowest scoring winning team in the NFL.
Which is also one of the top defenses too. Just throwing it out there.
Nope, nobody said anything about the defense, Pinky. Just the fact that they can't score. Let's not. Don't
Again,
even.
They need to spend some more time on Bang Bros, and they'd learn how to finish. Okay,
Pinky, you can't be giving credit to a defense that hasn't really played against an offense yet. So let's not talk about how they're the best defense in the NFL or one of the best when they haven't played an offense that requires them to do anything yet.
They're at least one of the best as it stands today. That can change. It's fluid.
Yeah, it's very fluid because they still have to play like good teams, and they haven't yet done that.
Which, again, a lot of the good teams we thought were good teams may not be good teams. So,
well, I'll just throw this out there, and maybe we'll get to it, maybe we won't. But there's a certain team in the AFC South that might be looking like something that I said could happen might be I don't know, possible and maybe happening. Just we'll just somebody on this show told me I was stupid, and
it's still
I have no idea
early.
what I'm talking about, and
it's
said it in a lot
early.
meaner terms than that. I'm just just saying. Just
see, this must be Andy
on Twitch.
Yeah, it must be Andy or Nathaniel. Andy's son.
I don't know who Nathaniel is.
Titans are not winning the Super Bowl, my friend. Tannehill is not that good, my buddy.
Jacksonville is the team we're speaking of, good sir, and they're a lot better than Tennessee this year.
Again, I still think it's early to be riding on Jacksonville. You did say they could be a sneaky playoff team. I will give you that. They look good right now, but they haven't played a lot of good teams either. They play the Eagles this week. I feel like this is a great measuring stick. How they play in this game will determine how they do.
If they're competitive, I see them in the playoffs. Honest to God. If they get blown out, then it can go either way. But the Eagles are really good. So
and they're really good on both sides of the ball. So it's a good measuring stick.
Unlike the Bills last week, who were missing half their defense, and everybody's crowning the Dolphins. So
they were missing 5 starters on defense. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Jacksonville, as we kind of AFC West, Jacksonville, they laid the whooping on the Chargers.
God damn. Now, Herbert shouldn't have been playing. I think that was pretty obvious.
I didn't see any of it.
He didn't look good.
I don't know.
He didn't look bad. Don't get me wrong. He didn't look bad. But he definitely looked like he was limited.
When Keenan Allen's not out there, who's like when I have to have a play, I go to Keenan Allen. When he's not out there, it's hard. It's hard for them.
What? You mean the same team that basically beat Kansas City without him?
They didn't beat Kansas City.
I said basically beat. I didn't say beat. The coaches lost that game. The coaches lost that game, not the players. I will hold to that. I don't
know about that, but
San Diego outplayed Kansas City that game.
Well, LA did outplay Kansas City. You're right.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. Spano, I hate you.
But, again, without Keenan Allen, they make things a lot harder without him out there. They really do. So, he's supposed to be coming back this week, so maybe that'll help Herbert. They lost their left tackle for the season. Sean Slater is a top 5 left tackle. That dude's legit. So that hurts. They lost Joey Bosa for over a month.
Yep.
So
if I'm Spano, honestly, if you want to win a Super Bowl, fire your entire medical and training staff immediately and go find a new one.
So I may not always be right, but I know I commented on the Chargers defense when everybody said they were going to be so good. I said, we don't know because they spend half their time on IR. And that's coming true.
Well, I mean, everybody caveated them being great with if they can stay healthy. So
Which,
you didn't say anything that
but
nobody else was
but I knew
saying.
they were not going to stay healthy because they never stay healthy. I just
Yeah,
don't.
it's not. And you and I were talking about this earlier today. It's no longer luck or coincidence or whatever else you want to call it. There is a serious issue within that facility
I
with the
mean,
medical staff and the training staff.
the training staff, the nutrition staff, the strength and conditioning that does the flexibility drills,
It's by far the worst in the NFL. By far the worst in the NFL.
I can't even disagree with you, my friend. We agree. They're just bad. They're just bad. So I met Andy and I met a guy at the draft, Chargers fan. We sat right next to him. Super cool guy. And I've been chatting with him throughout the season. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, bro, I didn't see the game. They didn't have it out here locally. Like, what happened?" And he was just like, "We played like garbage, and like our defense is not good." And it's just like, "Oh, okay." Like, they just have no answer, man. And that's where I'm just
I
like,
don't know if I'd say the defense. I mean, again, it's that weird NFL
I mean,
phenomenon. West Coast to East Coast, early
30,
kick.
38 to the Jaguars, though.
Yeah, but dude, how many Broncos went out and lost to the Jets how many times? Like when they shouldn't have.
That hasn't happened in the last couple of years. We beat the Jets. That's the one team we can beat.
No, didn't it happen like 3 years, 4 years? Like I lost money on it. I know it happened. I lost a couple grand on it because I got knocked out in a survivor pool.
Wow, that was
Was it Peyton's last year and he was out?
I think no, that was like 2 years. That was like 2 years ago.
Whatever, it happened and
it was I want to say that was a Flacco game.
Either way, that weird West Coast team going to East Coast with the early kickoff is a weird NFL phenomenon that has no explanation but continuously holds true. Bad things happen to that West Coast team. So I don't put a lot of stock into it other than they just didn't look good.
Well,
but
I mean, all I know
as far
is
as whether or not they're a good team, I'm not.
They're going to be battling it, in my opinion. The Chargers are going to struggle with all their injuries they have right now to key players.
The injuries are what's worrisome, but I don't think that has anything to do with that game per se.
I mean, we all know
Slater got hurt in that game and things of that nature. I get, but
the snowball effect happens when you start getting beat and beat and beat, and then like nothing goes right. Like the snowball can happen, but
now I will say, love the head coach, love the quarterback. If they can continue to put talent on that team, at some point you would think it's got to turn around.
Bro, Chargers are on Sean Payton watch, man. I guarantee you that Sean Payton actually mentioned that's one of the teams he would go coach because of Justin Herbert. So,
well, yeah, a lot of people would go coach it because of Justin Herbert. I think that head coach is legit, though. I like him. I like him a lot. I don't think the coaching and the players are the issue. I truly 100% believe it's the medical staff, the training staff, strength and conditioning, whatever else you want to throw in there. That's the problem. And it's a real problem because this issue has been going on for years. Years.
Got to talk about the Chiefs getting beat by the Colts. The Colts have looked really bad for most of the season. And they really didn't look great in this game, but the Chiefs had so many mistakes. They really gave this game away.
People always say one play can't lose you a game. The refs can't cost you a game. One player can't lose a game. I've always said that's bullshit. Now, when I'm the coach and I'm coaching kids and stuff, I tell them that's the truth. But any smart person should know that that's bullshit. Because one play can cost you a game. One player can cost you a game. One bad call from a ref can cost you the game. Go ask New Orleans, okay? Go ask New Orleans. And let's go talk to Kansas City this weekend. Because whatever Mr. Jones said that got that PI penalty that went ahead and extended Indy's drive cost Kansas City that game.
Yeah,
Now,
but they fumbled
at the
a
same
punt.
time, the refs cost them the game because that's a bullshit call. These are grown men that are getting paid to do this. They should be able to say whatever they want to. And the refs shouldn't be throwing a flag because some dude's got feelings hurt because of something some other grown dude said to him. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just shocked they lost that game. That just made no sense to me. No sense.
I'm not that shocked though, because I don't think Kansas City's that good.
The Niners? You're shocked the Niners lost?
No, I'm not shocked the Niners lost, sir.
Everyone should be. That team is garbage.
This kid over here. Don't have
Is
kids,
he shocked
guys.
The Browns won.
Let's see. What else? What else was there to? Eagles are rolling. Dolphins winning a game against the Bills, and that's just weird. Everything about that game says the Bills should have ran away with it, but
No, I mean they're missing half their defense. So good for the Dolphins. They won a game they should have won. Bills need to figure out their offense.
I mean,
Justin Allen can't be throwing 65 times.
Well, when you run 90 plays on offense,
Josh Allen.
You have 40 minutes of time possession. I don't think they had. I'm not sure if they had any turnovers in that game. It's just really weird.
Your quarterback should not throw 65 times in one game. I don't care how many plays you ran.
True.
That's crazy.
True.
You got 3 running backs on that team that you rostered. Use them.
They just don't. They just don't like to. I don't know if I don't know what's up with that scheme. When Brian DeBall was there, they didn't run the ball a lot.
No.
With Ken Dorsey, they don't run the ball a lot.
Ken Dorsey throwing that little tantrum in the press box area. The only reason he should have been doing that is because he called a bad game. Like, sorry, dude.
They didn't score enough. They really did.
Called a bad game. Run the ball. Run the damn ball.
I mean, I think it's bearing out that Miami's a pretty good team because they can win a lot of different ways.
Sure.
So,
Miami's a good team. That's why I said they did what they're supposed to do. They won a game in which they should have won a game. So good for Miami for winning that game. Miami looks like they're going to be a playoff team. But I still think the Bills are the better team. Now, if half their defense stays missing all season, then they've got no shot getting to the Super Bowl.
let's see. What else we got from last week? I mean, it's not something to like. Lamar's definitely MVP number 1 right now.
Yo, if he doesn't get hurt, he's either not going to be a Titan or he will be the highest paid NFL player in the history of the NFL.
Good night, honey.
I don't think I can do that myself, but that dude is playing. He's playing like he's playing for some money. I don't know if the Ravens are going to pay him, man. I just don't.
Look, so I'm changing again. I'm changing again. I did say Lamar Jackson's going to set the league on fire, but I thought Aaron Rodgers would win the MVP. I then said after week 2, Josh Allen is the MVP. I now cancel all of that back out, and Lamar Jackson will be the MVP, and I don't see that dude ever slowing down.
Right now, it's Lamar, Jalen, Josh. Those are the 3 guys.
I don't even think Josh is number 3 after that game.
Josh is still on the list, bro.
I didn't say he wasn't on the list. I just said I don't think he's number 3.
Offensive player of the year is Nick Chubb.
Did he just say Nick Chubb?
Offensive player of the year is Nick Chubb. He's on the list.
I don't hate that. Look, I've said for years now, I think Nick Chubb's the best running back, pure running back in the NFL.
You know what made me feel real? I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I don't feel bad for the team. Mac Jones out for a while.
I don't even really feel bad for the guy.
I feel bad for. I feel.
I mean,
bad
I'm not
for the player
happy
in the
about
game.
it. I don't really feel bad about it though.
I hate the Patriots enough that I don't like. It makes me feel good inside. So
It is unfortunate for him. That's for damn sure.
although they weren't,
'Cause,
they weren't looking great to begin with.
if they let Zappy play, he's going to lose his job.
Nope, Brian Hoyer's starting this weekend.
I know who's starting this weekend.
Good old Brian Hoyer. Got to be so excited about that if I'm a Patriots fan.
But I'm telling you, you let Zappy play, and Mac won't have a job to come back to.
So, again, most of the other games weren't really. The only one that I thought was crazy, the Lions looked good again and then found a way to lose the game.
We said this would happen. They're learning. Their defense is still not on the same level as their offense, so there's going to be struggles there. They still have to learn how to win a little bit, but they put some more pieces on that defense next season, and they're going to be a very dangerous team.
They'll keep building, and they are fun stat. They're the only team that has scored points in every quarter of every game they've played.
Even more fun stat. They tied for or were second in most consecutive quarters with a touchdown at like 18.
That's pretty cool.
Up until this last weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty. I think that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. They didn't score a touchdown in the fourth quarter. That broke their streak.
And I can't remember if they were tied for or if they were second and a quarter back from. But that record goes back like 40 years or something like that. It's crazy.
No surprise. Eagles whooped up on the Commanders. Jalen Hurts has in. Now that he's got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, O-line is protecting him. Dude is on fire.
Yo, there was a stat at one point that I saw, and I didn't go check this, so I don't know how true this is, but passing yards at one point in the game were like 323 Eagles to -1 Commanders.
Like they were shutting down.
That's crazy.
And Carson Wentz had been playing some good football.
Really good football.
So to see that happen was pretty crazy. All right. Week 4 starts tomorrow with a very interesting game.
Is it?
I think it is.
Why?
Dolphins versus the Bengals. In Cincinnati. Cincinnati's favored by 3.5.
Why? Because Tua may not play? Is that the only reason why?
I mean, let's be honest. If Teddy Bridgewater plays, Cincinnati's going to roll the Dolphins.
Are they?
They are. Teddy Bridgewater's awful, bro.
I mean, we said that 2 weeks ago at Dallas, and it lost us a bunch of money.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. Did I bet on the Bengals to beat the Cowboys?
Yeah, that was a nice parlay that we had. Them and a few others.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I didn't count that because the other shitty team lost it for us before that game. So then I was just like, well, it didn't matter. But yes, that would have lost as well.
Yeah.
Chiefs lost my parlay this weekend.
Since he rebuilt an offensive line that might be worse this year than it was last year. And they put money on it this year.
They really did. That O-line is bad.
Dolphins I told you the defense wasn't good. The defense isn't good.
The defense is not good. That team is not playing well. It's almost like they were like, hey, we made it to the Super Bowl, so we're good. And they haven't put in the work to actually be good.
No, it's almost like, like everybody was saying, they got really lucky and made a nice run and took advantage of it, but they weren't as good as a team as they appeared to be.
So
you know what they were? They were the, what was it? 06, 08, 09, whatever it was, Rockies, who won 20 of their last 21 to get to the World Series and then got swept in the World Series and haven't touched anything since. That's what Cincinnati is.
Let's not talk about that, okay? But I've got the Dolphins in this game. I don't know how the Bengals are favored.
Not just the Dolphins. Dolphins big, especially if Tua plays.
I think Tua's playing. He made the comment today that Tyreek Hill is going to get the ball a lot. Because Eli
Apple for dinner.
Eli Apple's guarding him, so he's going to get the ball a lot.
But you know what that means? I'm playing Waddle, baby.
All right.
Waddle's going to go big.
Here's a couple quick hitters. Bears Giants.
Why is that a quick hitter we're talking about?
So it's week 4. These are just quick hitters. Bears Giants.
Are you running through the whole list? Is that what we're going to do?
Bears Giants.
Oh, okay. Next.
Giants are favored by 3. Giants. All right. Browns Falcons.
Browns move.
Browns are favored by 1.5.
Well, that's it. Yo, Nick Chubb about to run for 250.
Yeah, Falcons can't stop anybody from running the ball. Cam Akers even got a touchdown this last week or 2 weeks ago. Commanders Cowboys. One more game of Cooper Rush. Dak's coming back the following week.
This game.
Huh?
I could see the Cowboys losing this game.
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Cooper Rush is I got to admit, man, I watched that Giants game. He just knew what to do with the football.
Dallas secondary is not good.
Oh, it's not.
It's not good. And I could see Carson Wentz lighting them up. I just could.
I was watching Trayvon Diggs the whole game. He got that one play because he got that interception because the guy messed up, but he can't cover anybody.
I could see Curtis Samuel's going to have a big game. Keep an eye on that if you're a fantasy person. Curtis Samuel, play him this weekend.
Curtis Samuel. This one's not a game. Patriots Packers.
Packers roll.
Packers 9.5 is the line.
Yeah, I'd take that.
A very interesting game. Sunday. Chiefs Bucks.
I think the Bucs defense is overrated.
I do not.
I don't think it's as good as everybody keeps saying they are. I just don't. They haven't played. Look, Green Bay is notorious, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. They're notorious for basically experimenting the first month of the season. That's what they do. They were basically about to be 21-0 in the first half. Bucs defense is not as good as everybody wants to make them out to be. They're not bad. Don't get me wrong. They're not bad. But they're middle of the road, a little bit better. They're not as great as everybody's trying to make it out to be.
And again, I don't think if I know Evans is back, Godwin is practicing, but just with the Chiefs have nobody that can guard Evans at all.
Right.
I like the Bucs. I do. Bucs at home. I like the Bucs.
As your famous words, this is one I would stay away from.
If you're a betting guy like I am, I would stay away from that game. The early morning game, I love it when we have London games. I really do.
I do too, dude. I do too.
Because I'm always up anyways.
Yep.
So when we have an early game, I'm like, great.
What's better than watching fantasy football shows and an NFL game at the same time? Come on.
No, I'm kind of sad it's Vikings Saints.
Quick note. All you fantasy players out there, get your lineup set Saturday evening. If you got one of those games, make sure you got them in a position to where you got that set. Because this is even worse. This is even worse than a Thursday game.
Definitely.
Because you better know your guys are playing. Because if you wake up and all of a sudden you realize it's the third quarter and your dude didn't even play, big problems.
That is great advice for everyone that is watching or not watching to get their lineup set, because That's exactly what's going to happen. Vikings Saints.
Vikings.
It's got to be
Easy.
Vikings. Jameis Winston is hurt. He's not playing great, even if he wasn't hurt.
Look. I keep it right here with me just so we can always reference it. We had New Orleans at 2-15 on the season, and we felt gross picking that. But we kept looking at the schedule, and we kept going, I just don't know how they're going to win It's starting to look like that's going to be pretty true.
When I've watched the Saints so far this season, they don't use Kamara at all. The way he should be.
What did we say about the head coach?
I mean, he's a defensive guy.
We said he's a terrible head coach. Solid defensive coordinator, terrible head coach. Been proven. Not just once, multiple times this guy has had opportunities, and it was proven. Okay? So New Orleans isn't good.
Let's see. I'm doing the quick hitters first and then getting to the good games. Jets Steelers.
Zach Wilson's playing. By all accounts. The Steelers should win.
Mitch is playing for his job, man.
And you know what's crazy to me? We're back to he didn't look bad, but he's definitely not doing what he needs to keep the job. Like, there's just something off. I don't get it.
To me, he's not playing bad, like you said, but he's not doing anything that makes me go, maybe I shouldn't put the rookie in. Like,
I look, you know how I felt about him coming into this season? I thought he was going to have a great opportunity to explode, and he's just not. It's like the Bears completely broke him. Like, that's what it looks like. And he's scared to do anything he's capable of.
He's playing scared. He's playing like, if I throw 2 picks, I might get benched. So I'm not going to throw any picks. But then when you're not throwing picks, you're not taking any risk, and then you're not really helping either.
Yeah, so, I don't. Steelers should win, but to me that says if you've got Jets offensive players, put them in your fantasy lineup. Yeah. Garrett Wilson's going off. Breece Hall's going off. Tyler Conklin will probably have a nice game.
Just don't touch that game at all. Seahawks Lions.
Lions.
Let's see. I think that's all the turd games. Now we got one more. Well, I don't know. I'm torn on this. Chargers Texans.
The Chargers should run away with this game.
Texans are scrappy though.
Right, but the Broncos should have ran away with the game and didn't. And they amazing defense you talked about let Houston score 20 points. So again, don't be talking about
They did not score 20 points, bro. I was at the game. They did not score. They scored 9. 16-9. 16-9.
Oh, I was thinking about the Bears game. My bad. They still let them score 9. Pinky. It's not good. You're right though. I was thinking about the Bears. The Bear orange. I had that orange and bad, and the Broncos are bad to me right now. And just
Chargers are going to win that game, but I wouldn't feel good about it. Texans are scrappy.
I'd feel comfortable saying Chargers all day.
It's 5.5.
Yeah, I'd take Chargers and points. I'd take that.
All right. So, all right, we got that. All right, one of the really good games, Bills Ravens.
If the Ravens are still missing the amount of people they are on their defense, it's not going to be that good of a game, I don't think.
Well, I'm pretty confident that the way it stands right now, the Ravens gave up like 5 for like 150 to Devontae Parker. And I'm like, wait, Are you telling me that Devontae Parker averaged like 25 yards a catch? Yes. Yes, he did. Like, they have Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, Jamison Crowder, Devon Singletary. Zach Moss has actually played some good snaps. This is going to get ugly.
Yeah, I guess in the sense that it could be a close game, it could be a good game. But I feel like it's going to be high scoring, and I feel like the Ravens are going to win.
The Ravens are going to win?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying the Bills were going to win.
Mm-mm. Not if they're still missing that many defensive players.
Well, half of those guys they're not getting back because they're on IR. So
I know, but if you get 3 out of the 5 back,
I think they can get their 2 D tackles back.
okay. I mean, that's still, if you get two out of the 5 back, then I would say Bills. But
Jaguars, Eagles. That's actually one of my favorite games of the weekend. Actually,
I'm looking forward to watching Eagles win.
Eagles are
Jags defense isn't there yet, and I don't think the offense is polished enough yet. I think they have the talent on the offensive side of the ball to compete. I don't think they're polished enough yet to compete.
This is actually, I guess I missed this one. This is a kind of a turd game. Cardinals, Panthers.
Yuck. Who cares?
I don't even know. I don't even.
Cardinals, because Baker Mayfield is trash. I told you if he starts, the Panthers are done. You watch, and I said it as soon as Baker got the job. I'm telling you again, Darnold will start this season because Baker is trash.
If Baker keeps playing this way, there's no doubt that Darnold's getting some snaps. In fact, I'd be happy when Darnold comes back because I got DJ Moore in a couple leagues, and Baker's not doing shit with him.
Baker's not doing shit with anybody. Christian McCaffrey isn't even looking good because Baker's so trash. Now, it doesn't help that you hired Ben McAdoo as your offensive coordinator. Like, that's another terrible decision by Matt Rule, which is another reason he should lose his job.
Oh, he is. Don't worry. He's a dead man walking.
God, why would you hire Ben McAdoo after the dumpster fire that was the Giants?
Because you were thinking, well, if he's an
the
OC.
Dude benched Eli Manning for Geno Smith to see what they had.
Titans, Colts.
Titans.
Colts are favored by 3.
Yuck. Derrick Henry's going to run all over that defense that's having issues.
Rams, 49ers.
Another yuck game, actually. Honestly, that's kind of a... I'd take the 49ers, I think. The Rams look trash, dude.
49ers are favored by 1.5. They're at home.
I got you, LT. I got you, baby.
Must be a Titans fan. Titans played well against the Raiders. They might be turning the corner. Although, I mean, Raiders have no secondary. So it's just kind of what can the Titans do against the Colts? Derrick Henry did show up, though, and I like to see that. I am still concerned that Taylor Lewan's out for the season. Their left
That's
tackle.
a big loss. I agree. That's a big loss, but they'll figure it out. They'll get the run game going, which will then open up that play action for them again. And Robert Woods and everybody will look a little bit better.
That's a huge game because if the Jags lose to the Eagles, whoever wins that game's right back in it for first place. So that's a big game. I got to go with the Titans in that one. I really do. Matt Ryan looks like garbage. And again, I don't think there's a lot of good weapons in Indianapolis. I really don't.
There is.
I don't. Michael Pittman.
It's not the weapons, Pinky. It's the head coach and the quarterback. And last year, in my opinion, it was the head coach. This year, it's the head coach and the quarterback.
Well, don't look at preseason hockey. God, the Avs are getting crushed 6-0.
It's preseason.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not worried about it. So we got the
They're
last
not playing
game.
half their starters, dude.
Last game of the weekend that we always talk about last.
What was the Monday night game?
Monday night's the Rams 49ers.
Oh, man. I'm watching Raw.
There's
I'm watching Raw.
I can't fault you that. There's some good fantasy stuff in that game, though.
Yeah,
You know,
but I can keep that up on my phone, man. I don't need to watch that trash game.
I can't fault you there. I really can't.
Yeah.
We got Broncos traveling to Vegas.
I don't feel good about the game. I can't say the Broncos are going to win.
So I will say I feel better than I have in previous seasons.
Why?
But I just do.
We're going against an offense that can score, and we have an offense that can't score.
We're going against an offense that makes mistakes. Their O-line can't block anybody right now. Their defense has nobody in the secondary. There's opportunities in this game. Could I see the Raiders winning?
Just like Seattle and Houston and come on.
Can I see us losing this game? Sure. I absolutely can. But could I see us winning this game with McDaniels and everything that's going bad? Can I see it keep going bad? Yes. Derek Carr has not played great football so far. Now, he usually plays his best football against the Broncos. So there is that.
And we don't do well against good tight ends.
I mean, we did okay against Kittle.
His first game back, he didn't do anything in preseason or to start. Jimmy Garoppolo's still in preseason mode. The dude hasn't even played football. And he smoked us the first half. We got lucky the second half.
Oh, he missed plays. He missed plays in the first half. He didn't smoke us. He missed some plays.
I would say he smoked us. We just got lucky.
I mean, he scored, 3 points?
I'm not scoreboard wise, just from the looks of it, they were on the verge of opening the floodgates on us, and we just got lucky that they didn't. Again, the defense hasn't looked impressive to me. We played Seattle, we've played Houston, and we played a San Francisco team where the quarterback hasn't played in 365 days. I know it wasn't that long, but you get what I'm saying. He's still trying to get his arm strength back, for God's sakes. They're on their third string running back. There's a lot of things that
they're on their second. They're on their second. Jeff Wilson's number 2 behind Elijah Mitchell.
No. I don't want to hear that shit. Tyrion Davis-Price was their number 2.
Jeff Wilson was number 2.
Tyrion Davis-Price would be starting if he was healthy.
But he hasn't been, so that's a moot point.
Right, but that means Jeff Wilson's the third running back on the team.
But he hasn't been healthy, so
I don't care. Jeff Wilson's the third running back. You know I'm right, Pinky. You know I'm right. Stop making excuses for the Broncos and just admit they haven't played anybody. They've gotten lucky, and neither side of the ball has looked great. They just haven't.
I still think, you might be talking shit, but the defense has looked pretty good.
No, they've looked okay. They haven't looked good. They haven't looked great. They've looked okay. If they look good this weekend, I will change my tune. Because this is an offense, finally, that has the weapons that if they can stop, then I will say, okay, the defense has been good regardless of the competition they were playing. I'm still saying they haven't played great competition yet. This is their first real test of the season. Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Renfro sounds like he's still going to be out, which is kind of a bummer because I like Renfro. But looks like he's not going to clear concussion protocol. Jacobs is a solid running back. If they can do well against the Raiders, then I will say the defense is good. Won't say they're great yet because that's still, they're going to have to look really good for me to say that. But if they can hold the Raiders to because I think the offense is still going to be trash. So they're going to be on the field a lot. If they can hold the Raiders to 17 or less, I'll say they're good.
See, I think the offense will hopefully run the ball against the Raiders, and then we'll be okay. Because you can run against the Raiders.
They should have run against every team they played, and they haven't.
There's been some issues there. So hopefully Hackett, and again, at least give Hackett some credit. Game management was not an issue this last week. He got a little bit better.
Yeah, you're right. Thank God he hired a coach to handle game management issues for him.
Hey.
Guess what was still trash? Play calling.
Okay. But it takes someone to realize they need to do something versus just.
I will give him mad props to say, I got a mistake, I got an issue, I admit it, and I'm going to fix it. How's he going to fix the play calling?
He has to get better. And again, there's also some plays in that game. Russell Wilson's got to get better.
I'm not even going to go down that road yet. I'll just say I told you I don't think Russ is the dude, and right now he's definitely not looking like the dude.
I mean, he's better than anything we've had, so I'll take it.
He's not better than anything we could have had, though.
He's way better than Justin Fields, so.
You cannot judge Justin Fields based on the trash.
I'm judging Justin Fields. He looks like fucking hot trash every time I watch him.
No, the Bears look like hot trash. And they're about to ruin a talent.
I'm watching him every time just to be like, Caleb says he's so good. He should be good.
He's good. And if you listen to people, they keep talking about how the Bears are ruining this young man's career. Ruining.
He looks like heart garbage. All right.
The Broncos have never ruined a career, Pinky. They just drafted terribly.
They never draft well at quarterback. They just pick up somebody else's quarterback. That's what we do.
The Bears are I feel so bad for Justin. Like that dude should have pulled an Elway as soon as the Bears drafted him.
I mean, can you when you get drafted like 12th instead of like 3rd?
I mean, if it means you get drafted in the 5th round the next year, but you're allowed to have an NFL career, is it worth it? Yes. The answer is yes.
He's learning the hard way for sure. All right. Get us out of here.
Final thoughts.
I mean, I tell you, I'm excited for the Eagles Jags. That's like my favorite game of the weekend. Not again, Raiders Broncos rivalry game. We hate the Raiders, they hate us. They're desperate. They're 0-3. We're 2-1. Like there's a lot to go there. But that Jags Eagles game, I'm really excited. I think the Eagles are going to win. How much of a fight will the Jags give them? That's what I want to see.
I will say I feel like, even if I'm wrong on Justin Fields, Pinky's going to have to come around to Jalen Hurts like I told him he would. He's already come around on Tua like I told him he would.
I wanted to draft Jalen Hurts in fantasy multiple times, and he just got snagged right before I got him. So
fantasy and real life are different. I said he was going to be a legit quarterback in the NFL. You said you didn't see it, just like with Tua. I'm just saying.
I'm not.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, baby. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I'm not convinced Tua's like going to be anywhere elite, but Jalen Hurts right now is playing very special.
I didn't say elite. I just said you've come around and you said it yourself.
Fun to watch.
Come around on Tua. You said Tua was hot garbage. You had him in the same category as Justin Fields.
Okay, I would probably agree with that. Tua's right now. Tua right now is like the Andy Dalton line. Like
Tua right now is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. That's way higher than Andy Dalton line.
But I think Tua needs everything around him to be good, to be successful. So I don't think there's anything Tua can. What?
So like Troy Aikman, who's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, Aikman's still one of the more accurate passers of all time.
Oh, wait, isn't that kind of what Tua's known for?
His short ball accuracy is top notch.
Just saying, he's leading the league in completion percentage, isn't he?
Well, he should when he's throwing less than 10 yards most passes.
Not this year, he's not. Man, still trying to find digs that are inaccurate. Pinky, get your head out of your ass. Let's go.
Never going to happen, bro. I'm up there, and I like it.
I love you, buddy. I will say I feel like this year to start the NFL season has been more what the is going on than any season in recent memory.
There's
I hope it continues.
A lot of teams trying to find their identity.
Crazy stuff happening. On that note, until next week, go love your loved ones. Spend that time with them. Cherish it. Friends, family, anybody else you consider close. We're out. Peace.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
No.